Gotta show up and show out.
Yeah, she'll figure it out. I'm laughing because the Lynx were up 20 in the third quarter. And the Mercury came back and tied it and sent the game to overtime, and now they're up. I was like, golly. Freaking
wow.
boy, they got everything you need to win the championship. But they get in their own way. They turn the ball over too much, and then they go through these droughts where they can't score. The defense is always good.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm just this fantasy football thing is stressing the sister out.
Man.
And it's not even like, and when I look to try to make moves on the waiver wire and stuff, I'm like, I don't even have a bad squad. They're just not all performing like they should at the same time.
The league we in, you struggling. I wasn't winning, and then going up against Minnesota's defense. Thanks, Bengals or Bungles, whatever.
yeah. Because I had Minnesota's defense in another league, and I got 54 points.
Holy crap, man! I'm just watching the game, and then last night, she's already up. Rebecca, she's already up. Oh, let's just have David Montgomery and Amon St. Brown. Let's put up another. Let's just put up another 50 and just completely destroy you, Pete. Let's just make it hurt.
Let's just make it hurt.
I've lost by 51. I think it was 52 points. I'm like, Montgomery had 30. I'm like, what is up with the with the Ravens defense?
I don't know, but because I got them in the league, but it's like, but even like in our league, I got players. They just not performing at the right times when I got them starting. AJ Brown finally showed up, but this week I didn't play Jalen because I was like, Dak's up against the Bears defense, which has been hot garbage. Every quarterback until Dak had been the offensive player of the week when they played the Bears.
Yeah.
I was like, great. And so I was like, I'm gonna make the switch. Sounded good in theory. Had I started Jalen, I would have won this week.
Right. But I mean, that's the same concept. I played. I had the kid from the Chargers, the running back.
Oh yeah, and then like,
and then he, when Harris went down, they basically had to play him, and then realized, oh, he's pretty good. No crap, like, yeah, that's where he was on my bench, chilling.
But then like my tight end Laporta, he ain't done nothing all season.
Yeah.
They got 5,000 points last night, and he got 5. But Kincaid is on my bench with 15. I'm so over it.
Yeah, fantasy get you, but you saw me go off with look. I'm taking the page out of your book, Cowgirls. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? We're gonna line CeeDee Lamb up in the backfield and have him run the ball. Let's put him closer to the bigger people that hit people, the linebackers and the linemen. Let's put them up there, not the D-backs and a couple of safeties every now and then. Let's line them up where the bigger guys are and hand them off the ball. How stupid is that?
So he can get rolled up on.
I was like, and it was a double whammy for me because I had him in prize picks to get 80 yards receiving. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh,
yeah. So I'm just like, come on, man. I'm glad they got blasted after that. I'm so glad they got blasted. And the Bears, no doubt. And look, I'm wasting a 40-point. I wasted a 40-point week from Caleb Williams. I ain't getting that back. I'm not.
You definitely are not.
I might get 25, 30, but I ain't getting 40. I don't think I'm getting 40 unless all of a sudden he didn't turn the corner or something. But everybody turned the corner against Dallas's defense.
Because Dallas's defense is abysmal.
We expected Dallas defense not to be great, but not that bad. Not that bad.
Yeah, they're awful.
Crap. Well, somebody said that everybody's homecoming. Like, let's go. Like, who you play this week? Cowboy. Oh, start everybody. Every offensive you have in fantasy. Who they actually play this week? They play the Packers. Start everybody. I'm putting all my Packers in.
They play the Packers this week. And Micah Parsons is coming back for revenge. Because if I'm Dak Prescott, I'm trying to figure out how I can get an injury Look, put that in quotation marks, an injury during practice, so I don't have to start. Because Micah didn't like Dak no way.
Nah, he ain't. You gonna try to rip his shoulders apart.
Right. Dak might not make it out that game alive. If I'm Dak, I'm like, listen, coach, don't put me in. I don't have CD either.
Yeah, look, you better go ahead. If I was him, I'll pull a hamstring, fake hamstring in practice.
Listen, back tightness, and then what Micah had, back tightness. I'm guessing back tightness.
Something wrong. What's wrong? I don't know. Just something. Something's wrong. I gotta sit down.
Yeah.
I'll say your Eagles just continue to find ways to win, and I'm not surprised.
They surprised me because I was sure we were losing, and we were all in the sports bar after we didn't get the 2-point conversion. We were all making peace with the fact that we were about to take this L to the Rams. And I was like, my boy was like, he said, yeah, he's like, because we didn't keep him out of field goal range. We were doing all the scenarios we were running. And I was like, well, we blocked it at 36. This one's 43. I was like, maybe we can block another one. And he was like, come on, L. How often there are 2 blocked field goals in a game? And I was like, yeah, you're right. You're right. So we was just like, it was a good run.
You had to come to the piece, huh? You were just like, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. Like we was making our peace. We was gonna ride at them last 3 seconds and just be like, we put up a good fight. We needed to start sooner, fighting back and all of the things. When that field goal got blocked, bananas, straight pandemonium erupted. And then when Jordan scooped it too, I was like, oh, he didn't have to score. That point, the game was over.
I said these special team coaches. Okay, let's just call it what it is. I mean, sometimes physics is physics. You got bigger, stronger players that beat up and push around bigger players, right? That could have been a scenario, right? The Eagles linemen are just bigger and stronger. They came off the ball. You know what I'm saying? That could have been. But you also could probably make a case that some really, really bad coaching on special teams. Like, how many block kicks is anybody going to keep seeing before they start stacking? Like, I would put my biggest and strongest people right next to the centers. I don't care what you play. You play lineman or offense. You play defense or offense. Like, but the quickest path to the middle is the like. It just seems like they just take it for granted. And I'm like, this is the Eagles line. Like, there's some defensive lines. You got to be careful. You got to actually execute and block these dudes. Like, you just take it for granted.
Well, and the thing is that they interviewed Jordan Davis afterwards.
Yeah.
And he was like, we knew based off of the trajectory from the first few field goals, he was like, the way he was, I guess the way the kicker was angling the ball coming off, he was like, we knew it was coming off low. And so he was like, we just kept going. We know we got to put our hands up. And he was like, so when we got the one blocked in the third, he's like, that third field goal, he's like, and we got it blocked in the third quarter. He was like, so, we were just like, we got to make sure we get a big push and then get our hands up because it was yesterday, Dan Orlowski, he ran the tape and he was like, it's great coaching on the Eagles special teams part. He said, because one, you got your defensive linemen to buy in on special teams. He's like, because a lot of them just go through the motions. And he was like, but he showed all 4 of the field goal kicks. And he was like, every single kick, and which you don't pay attention to that when the game is going on. But when he went back and showed that, I was like, oh, they were focused. Like every single kick, Jordan and Jalen had their hands up.
Well, but that's coaching. That's football. That's wanting to win.
Right. That's coaching. And he was like, so you got your players to buy in. He was like, and you got them committed. He was like, and he was, but he also said on the other side, he was like, I don't know why the Rams didn't make the adjustment because you could see it in game. And so he was like, the kicker didn't make an adjustment on how he was kicking the ball. He was like, the Rams didn't change their line. He was like, because he was like you. He was like, why didn't they move some bigger dudes to the middle?
That's kind of what I'm saying.
Like, but even though, but on that last one, on the one that won the game, the center, he also didn't cover his man. He was supposed to have Jordan Davis, and like he snapped the ball and then just stood up.
And like, a lot of times, if I'm not mistaken, they'll tell the center to cut. So like hike and then dive, so that you try to take the person's legs out, because they're going to try to come forward. Like there's some people that are tall enough and athletic enough to jump, but most of the time they're trying to get to your spot so that they can cut that distance off. So literally hike and dive, and I'm not, and it's actually a legal play. I'm not trying to say be dirty, but like chop them down. Like I don't get it.
Like when I've seen it. Like I was watching, I don't know what I was watching something. It was online though, but they showed the play again, and I was like, "Oh my God, sir, you didn't do anything."
All three of them dudes in the three, the center and these two got literally trucked. Like literally,
like the center, literally, like he snapped the ball, and you know how
he got trucked,
and you know how what was the video with the player from the Ravens week 1 where it was like, watch this guy, and how he just kind of ran around in a circle.
Yeah.
That's how the center looked on that field goal attempt. Like he literally snapped the ball and then just stood up and was kind of looking around like he didn't know what he was supposed to do. I was like, sir, you were supposed to get this big dude over here to your left. That's what you were supposed to do. But I appreciate you being out of place. I appreciate you being out of place. And I'm glad that Jordan and Jalen both was like, get our hands up. They stayed focused the whole time. But yeah, that game aged me a good 2 years in the last 2 minutes.
That's aged a great 2 years. I'm trying to give me a second. I'm trying to get this recorded. They screwed me last time because they had the game split. And I was trying to record this sucker, and it recorded the first 25 minutes, but didn't record the rest of the game. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me right now? Okay, so it's set up. No, it's set up right now. I was like, killing me right now with that. Yeah, so be right back. What are you doing here? Wow, we got an ad. Let's go. But yeah, so it looks like the Aces trying to get their act together here. 22 starting to figure it out. The Rams, I mean, give them some credit though. You're going to see them again, I think. If they stay healthy, you're going to see them. I think you're going to wind up seeing the Rams, because I'm thinking about all the rest of the NFC teams. Okay, the Packers, the Lions.
Yeah, I feel like we'll see.
Packers, the Lions, the Rams, the Eagles, and the Bucks, right? So those are kind of the ones that are looking like they're gonna have a long season, meaning they're gonna be around. They're gonna be around.
Yeah, I feel like, well, and that was the thing. We were like, because that was what we were saying, like when we thought we were gonna lose the game and they were gonna make the field goal. I was like, we'll see them again. My only thing is I was like, but now they got the tiebreaker.
Yeah, nah.
I was like, so if we see them again, we would have to see them in LA versus them coming back to the link. But now, depending on how all the records and stuff shake out at the end of the season, I was like, they're gonna have to come back to the link.
Right.
So
right. This thing will not record. I do not know what to do.
But and then other crazy news, did you see CJ Gardner-Johnson got just released by the Texans today?
What happened with that?
Apparently he was causing drama in the locker room. It said something about he was causing issues with the defensive coordinator. And he wasn't happy, I guess, about his role on the defense. He wanted to blitz more and some other stuff. So I don't know.
Okay.
Him at 0, I was like, the Texans are 0-3. I was like, I imagine CJ's probably hard to deal with at 0-3.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, so they released him, and part of me is like, how he bring him on home, because he never wanted to leave Philly anyway. But I was like, if he having an emotional meltdown and it's just week 4, we already know it's gonna be bumpy at some point during the season. We don't
Right.
need big problems.
Right. Yeah, but the Texans, I mean,
I don't know what they are going through.
they're literally going through what, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, let's call it what it is. At the end of the day, let's just like they're on the verge of getting some people fired. That's what's happening right now. They're on the verge.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I don't understand how it got so bad so fast. Because like now, don't get me wrong. CJ Stroud's first year and D'Amico's first year as head coach, everybody was clear that they had overachieved. They were better than everybody thought they were going to be. And then last year, they weren't terrible, but I expected CJ to have a sophomore slump because most QBs do.
Right.
But this year, I expected that to kind of level off. And I ain't see 0-3. I just didn't.
I mean, yet we didn't see 0-3, but yet, if you really think about it, they're missing Joe Mixon. He was a big piece last year. He was solid. The offensive line didn't get better.
Yeah, because the offensive line, now that's one thing that's been consistent all 3 seasons that D'Amico's been there. The offensive line has been terrible.
And they didn't really they tried, I guess, a couple things. Then you think about the receiving core. A couple of years ago, the receiving core was loaded, but they're not healthy. Think about it. Think about it. 3 years ago.
He's not playing this season, is he?
I don't know. But what I'm saying is, you think about with Nico Collins, Tank Dell, I forgot the other guy they had, the other kid, and then they brought in Schultz. Like the receiving core was healthy, and then last year you get Stephon Diggs, he gets hurt. Nico gets nicked up, and then comes back, and then Tank Dell goes out. So it's like you put all that together, and you couple that with them having tape. With your defenses having tape, offense looks. I'm not saying I am more surprised about their defense not holding. Well, in some games the defense is played, but I'm more surprised about the defense. But the offense, that's why I stayed away from them in fantasy again. I was like, you're not getting me twice. I was like, you don't.
Oh, yeah, because I had CJ last year in one of my leagues.
I was like, you're not getting me twice. You got me last year. You're not getting me twice. I was like, that offense don't look like his. I was like, people can sleep on Joe Mixon, and some people may not like him. The dude can ball. And with him not playing this year, because he's probably not going to play this year. They keep saying that he might come back, but I don't think he's playing. If Tank Dell and him don't come back, I don't see the offense getting better. Like, who?
Yeah.
How they going to get better? Like, it's just not going to happen. So, and now they didn't give the Colts a 3-game, jump, because they 0-3. The Colts are 3-0.
But the Colts
not gonna win that division. Probably gonna win that division. What do you say?
All the Colts games, they're not in their division though, are they?
No, but what I'm saying is, when you got a 3-game cushion like that, and you're a good football team, you're now like that division is not. It's still winnable when the teams are beating each other up, but when one team jumps out like that at 3-0 and they're looking good doing it, it's not like they're barely winning.
Not barely winning.
Yeah, so like they're going to win their fair share of games, and you coming in and you 0-3. Yeah, you got a chance to play them twice and beat them, but you might be 4 or 5 games behind by then. So even your division wins aren't going to add up to anything because you didn't let them jump out to a 3-0 lead. That's like, and that's why the Chiefs had to win against the Giants. They didn't look great doing it, but they had to win that game.
Yeah, they had to win
because you do not want to be 3 games down to the Chargers, even though the Chargers look a little vulnerable at times. But at the end of the day, he got Justin Herbert slinging that thing right now. He telling Herbert to just sling it. Just sling it.
But also too, the other thing with the Chiefs though, the Chargers, all of their wins are in the division.
Mm-hmm.
And so had the Chiefs lost to the Giants, it would have, since they were all division wins the Chargers had on them, it would have been like the Chiefs were 4 games back instead of 3.
Right.
So.
Right.
Which is wild. But yeah, no, the Chiefs had to beat the Giants, but they didn't look great doing it. Speaking of the Giants, So Russ. So what you think about them benching Russ and starting Jaxson?
It was coming. I mean, I think it's interesting how there's so many different philosophies, because what this gets into, right, the conversation about when you get a rookie quarterback, when do you start them, how do you start them, whatever. And I think it's just, this is the cop out answer, but it just depends on your team and it depends on your expectations. It's easy to say that the Giants had no expectations of doing anything more than just trying to tread water this year, if that. Meaning 5-6 wins at the most, maybe at the most.
Right.
You got a decent offensive line. Your defense is pretty damn good.
But their defense actually hasn't looked that good.
Well, what I'm
like their defense. Their defense is they need a lead to be good.
And I guess what I'm getting to is, all that said, there's no harm in putting them out there. Because
I feel like they're going to ruin him, because I don't think the O-line is as good as people think it is. I definitely don't. And I feel like if you were going to bench Russ, because also I hear reports that Dart really isn't ready. And so I'm like, you got Jameis just sitting back there. If you like, because, and also what I'm not doing, I'm not starting a rookie against Harbaugh's defense with the Chargers, who is smoking Bama's right now.
I hear what you're saying, but
I'm gonna wait a week and start him against the Saints. That's just me.
I get what you're saying, and it's not. That's why I said it's different philosophies. I actually don't have a problem with them starting them, because if you were going to put Jameson out there, I guess my whole thing is, I don't think it's gonna matter. Like you saying, Harbaugh's defense, I don't think it's gonna matter. They put him out there, because here's the thing: what you can do though. And this is the other option. You can put him out there and you can actually take him out. Like, you can put him out there, because if he plays the first half and he doesn't play well, you can put Jameis in there and say, okay, kid, sit down. What do you learn? Okay, let's go back out there. I don't think they are trying to win games this year. They're just trying to see what their team is about. And I think Brian Daboll,
they're starting him now because they're trying to save their jobs. I don't think Daboll and them, if they don't get some sort of wins and start looking any better, they are absolutely up out of New York, and they'll be up out of New York before the season is over. Absolutely. But and the thing is, because he's a rookie, and because they're caving to the fans asking for him, and if he's not ready, you got him behind a questionable O-line, because the O-line is questionable. Their O-line has been questionable for years. You got him behind a questionable O-line. You putting him out here against a top-tier defense right now. The reports are he's not ready. So, but now that you've hit this big red panic button, you can't unring that bell.
So let me ask you this. Do you really think they're going to have anything different if they put Jameis back out there? Jameis, I guess my point is, I get what you're saying, and it's a risk in that aspect, but they're not going to do anything different. Russ literally threw the ball out of the back of the end zone 3 times.
Yeah, I get it.
And
but here's what we know with Jameis.
Job, I actually think Daboll's job is going to be okay for another year, because I'm going to tell you why. Because there was no reason to keep him this year. There was no reason to keep him this year. There was absolutely no benefit.
There absolutely wasn't. But and again, but teams are notorious for this. The Giants, the Bears, like, I don't know why they do that. You know you about to fire somebody, but you let them draft the quarterback and then you fire him the next year. You can't make it make sense, but that's how this works. So, but I just feel like, because here's what I know with Jameis Winston. Jameis going to get you at least 350 yards, 3 touchdowns. Now, you might get 3 INTs with it, and you still might lose. But at least it's going to be entertaining and productive while it's happening. So it's still going to look like a better product than what Russ put out there week 1 and week 3. Week 2, he looked great against Dallas's defense, but so does everybody else. So I feel like, again, I just wouldn't, because I don't have faith in their O-line. I just don't. I see them twice a year. I've watched them too many times. I don't have no faith in their O-line. Yes, he's more mobile and he can run, but if he runs and get cracked the wrong way, then he's done anyway for the season. And again, now you've ruined him.
but you're saying this like next year their O-line's gonna be better, and the year after that. Like I mean,
once they get new coaches in there, it might.
Well, but my point is, you had opportunity to make the O-line better this year. So obviously they don't know what they're doing. Is what I'm saying. It's not like they didn't have a chance to get guys this year. So what I'm saying is,
and hence why I think that they should have been fired last year.
I don't think it's going to matter. I don't think if they don't start them next week, they start them week 12, they start them next year. It's not a good football team. It just doesn't. I don't think it matters. So what they're probably doing is, let's put him out there for a couple of games. Let's see what we got. To your point, if he gets blasted, he gets hurt, that's the risk. If you don't play him, you know what you got. And James, you're right. You might get 300 yards, but you might get 16 interceptions. But I do not think the Giants are trying to win football games this year. I literally think they're trying to tread water and just get to the next year. And I don't know why they kept Daboll in the first place. I do not know why they did that.
I don't either.
I do not know why. None of it makes sense. It really, like I said, the Giants are what they are. They're going to start the kid. Now, they say he's not ready, but it's funny because the talk says they're not ready, and I know it's preseason, but hell, we've judged a lot of other people off of preseason. They said in preseason he was learning the offense pretty well. So, like, which story is right? Like,
but again,
he said he was headed in the right direction in preseason, but then all of a sudden now he doesn't look ready. Like, I'm trying to.
But in preseason, you got to know you up against your second, third string.
I get that, but in practice you're not. But you're also in practice. You're not taking the first snaps until now.
You're not.
Oh, and it's the second. It is the second unit of the Giants. So let's be real. Like, that's preseason. Anyway. Moving on.
You petty.
Moving on. The Ravens. I am about sick and tired of them telling me that that's the best roster in the NFL. And they out here getting trucked for 260 yards of rushing or something like that.
Yeah.
250.
Because I got Gibbs in the league, and he absolutely secured me my victory this week in fantasy football.
Right.
And him and Montgomery decided they was gonna have a time.
Yeah.
So, but it was different.
What about? I mean, and Derrick Henry out here doing. I don't know what he doing. He out here.
Tiki Barber like stuff.
I have no. He might hold it high like Tiki, hold it high because all of a sudden he can't hold on to the damn ball.
But it's only in the fourth quarter, and
that's
which
true.
Is crazy.
That's true.
Which is crazy because today when they gave the stats, they were like in 10 fourth quarter runs.
That's true.
This season, he fumbled 3 times, wherein the last over his career, he's had 590 carries in the fourth quarter. And over his whole career had only fumbled 3 times in the fourth quarter. So he's already matched what he had done for his entire career in 3 weeks. That is bananas.
He's basically doing what Lamar Jackson did. Was it a couple years ago when Lamar kept fumbling the ball in the crucial spot? Like Lamar had like 350, 3 touchdowns, a rushing touchdown, and a fumble in the fourth quarter.
And it was always a fumble loss. Like he don't never fumble the ball and get it back.
Yeah, man. Ravens, man. Look, and the funny thing is, you try to give them the benefit of the doubt, right? Because they're the Ravens, it's Harbaugh, right? It's one of them Harbaugh boys. You know, like you try to give them the benefit of the doubt, but at one point, it's gonna come. It's gonna come to.
But you know what is the offense to me? I feel like will be fine. What looks wild to me with the Ravens is that their defense has been so terrible.
Man, they are so soft in the middle.
Like they have
nobody in the middle that can do any damage, like tackle.
Anything. They don't look anything like the Ravens defense we're accustomed to seeing.
Yeah,
they look a hot mess.
They look bad. They look so bad. I'm probably gonna drop them. I'm like literally gonna. I think I'm. Like I might just drop them and not even pick up another defense. I just don't want them. I just don't want that stink on my team right now. It is
You
horrible.
said you don't want to stink on your team.
I
Yeah,
don't
like
even
I
wanna,
got them
I
in
don't even want to
another.
like mess with my emotional. I don't even want my eyes to get sprained looking to see that I still have the Ravens defense in fantasy. Like it's irrelevant to have the.
Yeah.
I might as well not even put a defense in my lineup for fantasy if I'm
Yeah, because
thinking
they getting
Ravens.
like -4 points. I was like, what are y'all
Holy
doing? What are
crap,
y'all
dude.
doing?
Holy crap. Yeah, so they're gonna mess around. But the thing is that division is in my opinion, that division is not. I don't know. Like the Bungles, they're terrible. The Browns decided they wanted to win a game, and I guess we slept on that defense. Like their defense has been pretty good the last few years, but I
Yeah.
didn't know they were that good. I didn't know they were that good. Holy crap! I watched that game. I watched most of that game. Man, them boys, the Packers. I'll tell you right now. At one point, I didn't think they wanted to be on the field. I didn't think they wanted to be. Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, I didn't see that game because of course it was going on with it while the Eagles game was
Josh
on.
Jacobs
I've seen
was the only one trying to
snippets
play.
of it and highlights since then. And Jordan Love was on his ass.
The weakness has been exploited for the Packers, and it's typical because most coaches and most GMs, they just don't take in consideration how important the offensive line is. You can't. These dudes on defense, man, these are some freaking freaks. They coming out now, man. These hybrids, these 6'6", 300, 4 or 5 linemen. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You gotta get some guys that can block, man. You gotta get and here's the thing. We used to only think you get one. You was like, oh, you got one of those guys. You in good shape. Now teams got 3, 4 of them. Like y'all got 3 guys on y'all defensive line that are like terrors, and then you bring 3 off the bench. You know, like, and then I'm watching the Browns. I'm like, who is this dude? And then you look at it, and then they all stood up after a play, Lonice, and they all looked the same. They all were the same height. Look like the same. I'm like, Myles Garrett is supposed to be the freak of that group. All them dudes look like Myles Garrett.
That's wild.
I was like,
I saw some clips from that game, and I was like, I don't know what happened.
To get on here and tell me what are all these players coming from, because, like I said, that's that. Ooh, they held the Packers to 10 points. I think it was. That's crazy. So. 10 points. And talking about Jordan Love threw the pick and everything. I'm like, look, he threw the pick because he was probably wanting to get off the field. He probably was like, the hell.
Because by the time he threw that pick, he had been in a blender.
I was about to say, he was probably like, man, I don't care. Yeah.
Right. Like that man was just like,
I'll cry next week.
Because I'm sure he had nightmares the next day. I'm sure of it. I mean, that night, probably didn't sleep well.
They're talking about, he needs to be more mature, be more professional, all this stuff, and I get it. But here's what I'm going to say. And I actually like Jordan Love. But here's what I'm going to say. We're talking like, and this is what happens, right? You see a flash of it. You see a stretch where he plays like he could be an elite quarterback, right?
Right.
And then you don't see it. And it's like, oh, he's got to be more consistent and all that. Well, offensive line's a problem. But let's just say the games where he's been able to get some blocking up front. Maybe he don't have the goods. Maybe he actually isn't a franchise quarterback. I'm not saying he isn't, but that's a possibility, people. Like, everybody that you pay and everybody that shows flashes
doesn't mean that that's who they are.
Yeah, is he a better than average quarterback that can give you a couple of elite games and actually win a Super Bowl? Probably so, because we've always said that there's been
have to be elite now.
There's been enough history now that you don't need an elite quarterback to win a Super Bowl. But you just need a guy, to the point they were making, is to not make that mistake when a game is that close. If a game is that close, you got to be smart enough to not make that mistake. Shout out to Marcus Mariota. Shout out to Danny Dimes. I'm trying to think.
Shout out to Carson Wentz.
Shout out to Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz is balling.
Yes.
I said, well, look at him. And then, but again, of course, like Minnesota's defense, they did. Yay, Isaiah! Shout out to Isaiah Rodgers.
Oh, God, oh my God!
Shout out to Isaiah Rogers with his pick six and his fumble recovery for a return touchdown too.
That from like this dude literally was like, okay, go ahead and catch it. You got it? You sure you got it? Do you have the ball? You got it. Okay. No, you don't. Like, like he literally was standing there and was like, I ain't even gonna try to. I'm not even gonna try to intercept that one because you got it. I'm gonna let you take 2 steps right near me, and I'm thinking to myself, dude, what's going on with that this year? Like, is everybody taking a page out of the Peanut Tillman handbook and just punching out balls like these dudes? Like, hold on to the damn ball.
Well, now Isaiah got that from Philly because that's what we did last year. Like every time we're trying to make a tackle, that was us last year. We're always punching at the ball because that's how we used to get. That's how a lot of those turnovers would happen.
But that's what I said. That's yeah. So
like as soon like when we making the tackle, we coming in, we're punching at the ball. So yeah, that's a Vic Fangio thing. So Isaiah got that from Vic. And he took that. I miss him. I loved Isaiah. He's so great on social media. The social media team. He was always so entertaining with the social media.
Move on. Leave him alone. I'm messing with you.
I missed it in him.
If the Bengals play like that again next week, they might as well start considering shedding some stuff.
Bruh, listen, Browning was not that bad before when he came in to back up for Joe. I need him to get this together because I got Higgins.
They might as well start. Send Higgins to who needs a receiver? Send Higgins to Kansas City or somebody. Like just start.
But they just paid him.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You paid him, so you're gonna need someone that's actually sign and trade. Well, I don't know how that works. I gotta go look and see how that works. Yeah, they just paid him, but that don't mean they still can't move him if somebody's willing to take the salary. I got you, but if they play like that, then I mean, shoot, they ain't got no. I mean, that's horrible. Like that's just bad. That's just really bad. Like it was bad. Like it was like.
Oh, and the thing was,
I don't know who played. Answer this question: who played first, the Bengals or the Falcons? Both smelled really bad. Like both smelled really bad.
I'm gonna say the Falcons since the Bengals actually scored points.
Okay, well that's fair enough.
I'm gonna say that because they actually scored some points. So, whereas the Falcons,
inconsistency of the Falcons, that wasn't inconsistent. That was just an ass whipping. That wasn't inconsistent. That was an ass whipping. The Panthers fans, I didn't get a chance to text my boy Jones, and I saw Marvin. Marvin posted some pictures from the game with his family. He right. I'm not gonna battle his sons. His sons look tough. I ain't trying to go up against his sons and get no tickets. They might beat me down. But they about this tall. They about this tall. But I ain't trying to. I have to take on both of them. No, that's not. But just saying, they were just like you cats in the stands. They were just like, yo, cats were not ready for that. Shoot. I was like, the Falcons out here about to get people fired. That's what the Falcons are doing. And they did. Then they fired somebody, didn't it? The Falcons? Or they took the dude from the offensive coordinator and made him they demoted him or something. Something happened.
Oh, did they? I hadn't seen that. I know they cut their kicker last week.
Or was that I gotta go. You know what? I'm looking that up. What?
Look, I know they cut their kicker last week after week 2, they cut their kicker.
Right.
Because I dropped that thing in the I don't know if you've seen it yet, that meme about the kicker Young Ho.
Falcons wide receiver coach gets fired.
Oh, dang.
I hear you. Old school, I hear you. He got fired.
Dang. I didn't even know Ike was in the league coaching.
Right. He got fired. They firing wide receiver coaches. What's happening right now?
But of all the people to fire the wide receiver coach,
right? That's what I'm like. What they do? So the receivers is the reason why y'all didn't score any points.
It might be the missed field goals by your kicker.
It might be a lot of things. That team was bad.
It might be the pick 6 that your quarterback threw. I mean, there's a lot of blame to go around.
Holy crap, man. Some other games. Oh yeah, the Bucks. Shoot, shout out to Baker Mayfield. Holy crap, Baker out here balling, man.
And we got them this week.
And talking.
We got them this week.
What you say?
We got them this week.
That's a handful.
It is, but this time, well, I'm not sure.
Win the game. I mean, y'all are the Eagles. Y'all can win the game, but I'm just saying that's gonna be.
Well, no, but like the last 2 times that we've played the Bucks, and everybody keeps they circle back to last year when we played them in the regular season. They was like, y'all got drugged by the Bucks, and I was like, we didn't have either one of our starting wide receivers, and our tackle was out. Yeah, we lost that game. Sure did. Because AJ, Devontae, and Lane were all out. And in the middle of that game, Juergens got hurt. No, not Juergens. Juergens got hurt. Our center. So by halftime, we was missing half the offense.
I'm sorry. I'm distracted. Nafisa Collier was on the TV. My bad.
No, you're fine. So. Okay. But this year, I was looking forward to that game because I was like, we should have everybody playing. But Lane got hurt last week, and they haven't said whether or not they haven't said he's out. But I don't know. I'm hoping they just sat him for last week's game so we could have him for this week's game against the Bucks.
Here's what I'm
because what we know is Todd Bowles gets off the bus blitzing.
Well, that's my point, and what I'm gonna tell you is I get the whole injury thing, but and don't look. We know when teams aren't healthy. They're playing with one hand tied behind their back at times, depending on who's hurt. But at the end of the day, you got to go out here and find a way. Y'all been finding ways. So the Bucks got people hurt too. So it's going to be a good game. I mean, it's two of the best teams. I mean, nobody's talking about the Bucks enough, or at least I'm just not thinking they're talking about it. Hell, we ain't really I mean, like they're solid. Now, Mike Evans and his hamstrings, talking about a James Conner getting hurt all the time. This dude, Mike Evans, I'm like, dude, like, I mean, literally, like every season he has a hamstring injury. Like, what is happening with this?
Yeah, his hamstrings are rubber bandish.
Hey, they just every season, and it's not any other injury. Hamstring.
It
ain't a quad. It ain't an ankle. It ain't a sore shoulder. It ain't an ab strain. It ain't. You know what I'm saying? Hamstring. Out 3 games, out 4 games, out 6 games. I'm like, this dude here. And he was balling. Old man Evans was out there catching touchdowns, doing his thing. Him and Keenan Allen right now out there balling. The two old reliables. Look, they're becoming slowly but surely. Mike Evans and Keenan Allen becoming Larry Fitzgerald. They're becoming old.
And don't forget Devontae Adams.
And Devontae Adams. But Devontae's, I think, got, you know what? I want to see the age on that because I do want to know.
I think Devontae is 29, 28, 29.
That's what I said. I would say.
I think. I might be wrong. He might be a little
bit. Allen is 33. What in the world is this? Keenan Allen is 33. Mm-hmm. Mike Evans is 32.
Okay.
And
so Devontae's got to be like 29.
Adams is, how old is this man? Oh shoot, Devontae 32. So you're right.
Oh,
all of them.
Okay. So so I had shaved some points off for Devontae. Devontae 32. Yeah. So listen, they all out here and balling.
Got hurt because Keenan got 2 or 3 touchdowns. Devontae got a couple. Keenan and Mike Evans, I think he had 2. I think he had 3 before he got hurt.
And Cooper Kupp came on this week too.
He actually decided to play this week. Because I
came on this week. I think it took him a moment to get, because he was in a new system and he got to learn a new QB. So I think maybe it took him a minute to get himself together with Sam Darnold. I don't know.
It's just been an interesting football season so far. It just, I saw that Florida State. Let me switching over to college real quick. With the 8 now, they decided to rank them. What's 8? So we need you guys to go ahead and win as many games as possible. Y'all need us to win as many games as possible, so that game can actually mean something. Because the ACC, other than us, it's
terrible.
It's not
hot
great.
garbage.
Not great. It's not great. So I'm not sold on Miami. The U is back. The back of what? The back of the bus? What do you mean the back? We ain't back.
Shut up, Pete. Shut up.
They're number 2 in the nation. We're not the second best team in the nation. That is not a true statement. That is some garbage. That's why I hate the rankings. I hate them. It's stupid.
It's still too soon for rankings.
But my point is, they're ranking the teams based on what's narrative. It gets more obvious to me every year that they rank these teams to create the narratives. There's no way in hell, if you watch that game Saturday night against Florida, that you would think that Miami is the number 2 team in the nation. It's not even freaking close.
That's true.
I'm the biggest U fan that you can ever find. I can name you the rosters from the championship games. I'm still pissed that Ohio State still in that championship. Me and Jason, when he brings it up, we don't talk for a week. I can go through the 80s and 90s. I can tell you the games that we shouldn't have lost, the games that we shouldn't have won, everything about the U, every single thing. We are not the number 2 team in the nation. That is not a true statement. Are we good? Yeah. Can we win the national title? Sure.
Yes.
But come the hell on. I love the fact that we're doing the old school, run the ball, pound, push people around. But I'm telling you what I know, that offensive line is not protecting as well as they think they are. When we actually have to pass the ball, and I like Carson Beck, not as much as I like Cam Ward, Carson Beck is getting pressure from teams that only rushing 4. I'm like, that's going to be a problem. Like, they kept showing the highlight of the one-handed catch, and I kept saying that was a terrible throw.
It's a better catch than it was throw.
It was a much better catch than a throw. But when he threw it, he was on his back foot running for his life. Nobody talks about that because the guy caught the ball. I'm like, no, you see how he had to throw the ball? He threw the ball like this. He didn't throw the ball like this. He threw the ball like this. Like, I'm calling when I'm a true realist. I love to watch my team. I'm a root for my team. But damn it, man. But at least they decided to rank Florida State and stop messing around with that, I guess.
Look, I guess. We'll see. We'll see how it goes the rest of the season.
Shoot, Dabo out here about to get fired. Out here in Clemson. I just want to shout out to my Clemson people, because they are not happy with Dabo right now. Because he will not. He's trying to be Nick Saban. He will not.
Oh, go into the portal.
He will not go into the portal. He will not take advantage of NIL. And when I tell you these Clemson folks down here got some cash, they got some cash. They got some. Most of the ACC and Southern schools got some cash, and I don't think he's gonna do it. I don't think he's gonna give in to the new way of doing things. And it's not. And it's almost like some of these old school guys feel like it's illegal to do it. I'm like, hey, they open up the floodgates. You better take
it. Like for years, and they're right. For years, it was illegal to do it, but now they've made it legal, so make it hot.
Right. So Clemson,
just don't do like we did last year and get garbage out the portal. Jesus.
But there was a lot of high hopes for the South Carolina teams this year, and they're basically South Carolina and Clemson have basically disappointed the entire state already. Like the entire state is not happy right now.
That's wild. The whole state, man.
I'm telling you right now, South Carolina thought they were going to do something this year. These people around here was like, let's go, Gamecocks. What the hell was that? Cats coming to work like, what the hell was that? Like funny. Almost like Vince Lombardi. What the hell's going on? In Clemson, I don't know what that is, man. Them cats are not inspired. So, yeah, South Carolina as a whole, everybody waiting for basketball season. Shoot, ain't nothing we gonna do with this. So, yeah, I watched that before. I was like, man, Miami, okay. I like some of our players, but let's stop. I'm sorry, I forgot. I got this daggone TV up, and I'm sure this thing's gonna be like talking throughout the entire daggone recording. Maybe it didn't catch, but
I was gonna say, well, if it is, I can't hear it. So.
Oh, okay, cool. Because
I haven't heard it at all. So it's not loud enough that. It's at least on my end that is interrupting anything.
Yeah, 22 and the team started playing. I actually got it rewound back. I need to catch up. Anyway, anything else going on in the world, in the life, in the sports world? Not too much going on. I haven't been following baseball because the Braves sucked this year.
Phillies won the NL East.
They won the NL East. Boo.
They won the NL East, and but I have been reserving my enthusiasm because the past 2 seasons I have been all in and sold in the whole season, and then they have failed me.
Right.
In the playoffs. Like last year, I was so mad at them because they were like, we got to win NL East and then, win this and win that. And we did all those things. And then y'all get beat in the first round of the playoffs. Mm. Like y'all can't get no runs. Y'all been smoking runs all season long. And don't nobody know how to hit a ball anymore in the playoffs. So this year I was like, y'all not going. And they tried to get me, Pete, early in the season. Mm-hmm. When the season first started, because their hype video to start the season had Brandon Graham in it with the Super Bowl trophy, and then they had Bryce Harper, and so they were talking about, we can do 2 parades on Broad Street this year. They tried to get me. I was like, nope, not doing it.
Yeah, that's funny.
They did. They tried to suck me in. I was like, not doing it. But it was it's so funny because one of the newscasters in Philly, I follow him on IG, and so and I was like, sir, truer words have never been spoken. And so I think it was the end of football season that year, and we had gotten beat in the playoffs. And so he was switching. He did a reels, and he was switching out of his Eagles jersey and putting on his Phillies jersey, and was like leaving one toxic relationship to go to another toxic relationship. And I was like, that's pretty much how that feels. But this year, the Eagles delivered. So like I said, they tried to get me with the Phillies hype video. They had Brandon Graham in there with the trophy, and they talking about, what the city will be like if we get to do a parade on Broad Street, and another one only a few months away, blah, blah. And I was like, nope, y'all not going to suck me in this time. Not going to suck me in.
They got to deliver the goods. I did not know the Brewers. I guess I did see that earlier this year. The Brewers are pretty good. I visited that stadium. That stadium is nice. Y'all don't have a lot of brown people on this team this year, by the way.
Who, the Phillies?
Yeah.
We haven't had a lot of brown people on the team in the past 3 years. Look, if I'm keeping it a bill.
There's not a lot of brown people on this team.
Listen, if I'm keeping it a bill, we've had about 2 or 3 the past 3 years, and it's the same 2 or 3 the past 3 years. It is not a lot.
I go to the Braves roster, and every other player is brown.
Not how we getting down in Philly.
I see that. Y'all have a lot of brown people up in here. Why? And why are the Braves? Why they gonna win? They done won 10 in a row. Too late.
You said too late.
They got a 10-game.
I dropped the video for you.
What you say?
I dropped the video, the YouTube video. I just dropped it.
I'll check it out. Yeah, man. Let me get out of here. I'm gonna go ahead and watch watch 22. Bring this home. They winning. So I'm
okay, good stuff.
Yeah,
they keep that same energy.
Yeah, even though as I speak, they turn the ball over. Look at this.
Oh Lord. Okay, look. Don't say nothing else. Don't jinx it.
And I'm getting stressed. All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right, holla.